Hey guys, welcome to my 31 day challenge. Today is day number 26. Let's go. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome and welcome aboard. The reason I'm doing this is to help me improve my consistency, reliability, make me more comfortable in front of the camera, and just that kind of stuff. Today's day number 26. Yesterday was Christmas. Yesterday was a struggle to get the video out because I was in my cousin's house, but I managed to do it. Thank you. Shout out to you again. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. Link was in yesterday's bio. Today, the first topic I wanted to talk about was listening and understanding, because I feel as though I've always been good at listening, but and I thought I was good at understanding, but some things come with age, and I feel like you don't understand that till it happens to you. Then you're like, if you knew better, you'd do better, sort of thing. So when I was younger, the perspective, I really did try to listen. Like, I would really stop and hear what someone was saying to me. But I think the part where I would kind of almost be off a little bit is that I would hear what they said and take their first understanding. The first understanding I took from what they said I'd run with that. I would never revisit it or try and reflect on it deeper, or really try and break down the essence of what does it mean. Like, of course you hear people and you have your understanding, but why did they say what they said? What were they trying to make happen? What was the real message, beyond the message? Is there more to it, or is it just a surface message? And I think now, being at the age I am, it's something that stands out to me a lot more, is the difference between, a lot of people listen and hear, but not many people really, really, truly understand. And you witness it, I think, being someone from one country who moved to another country, who has, it gives me a diverse range of, experiences where I'm seeing different people from different cultures. And even growing up in Liverpool, which is a really multicultural place, you see different people interacting, and you see their level of interaction. And then because I have a high understanding from, I've lived over here, so I understand the way these people are, and I've lived over here, so I understand how these people are, because I've lived in a lot of different places. So I kind of feel like I can understand what this person's trying to say, and I can understand what this person's trying to say as well, but they're having two completely different conversations, even though it's one conversation. Do you know what I mean? It's really interesting, and it's something that I hope anyone who is watching this, or anyone of my youngers who might see this as well, value the fact that when you hear something, sure enough, you have your initial understanding. And of course, not I'm not calling anyone dumb or anything, but if it's coming from someone older than you, with more experience than you, try and reflect on it. Try and actually take time out of you, deliberate time, to think about it, especially if it's coming from someone who cares about you. I remember there's a lot of times when I was young where there's a disconnect between you and people in older generations sometimes. And I remember there's people who, thinking back now I'm the age I'm at, and now I understand the world the way I understand the world, it's they were really looking out. And if I had the awareness to actually understand what they were trying to tell me, and if I could have actually put it into practice, then today I would have benefited massively from that. And the thing is, I did understand what they said at the time relatively, and I did try and put it into action. But I think if I would have just taken time to step back and really reflect on it, and give it time to really think about what it truly means, work hard, work hard. But what does that really mean? What are you actually doing when you work hard? Does that mean go and run till you can't breathe anymore for 5 minutes? Or does it mean work at a steady pace consistently until you feel like you can't go any further? There's just different ways to look at things, where it's what does that really mean, and which version of this benefits me the most? And I feel like I was really I didn't really think too far ahead, in terms of I think when I hit 25, that's when I was alright, cool, I don't know, my life plan went up to 25. I had never had no clue what happens after 25, because I knew it's pretty much up, it could, wherever you can go in any direction. So I didn't really have a plan after it. It was we'll get there and see. So it's just, if I would have had that insight and understood exactly what these people were trying to tell me. There's certain things that I could have now that would make my life a billion times easier. So yeah, when people say things to you and when they speak to you, actually try and go and have like deliberate time to think about it, because really and truly it might help you out, man. It might help you out. You know. And it comes back and you'll be there and you'll be thinking like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like a good one, yeah. I'm gonna say it. A good one is driving. I never cared about driving. Never ever cared. There's this one woman and she was like, oh, wait. There's this one woman and she was on me about driving. I was almost gonna divulge too much there, but she was on me about driving. She was just like, like, but in like a anti way, like, you know, like, why are you not driving? Like, why are you, like, you dress nice and you do all this stuff, but you don't have a car, and it just shows me that your priorities aren't right. And at the time, it felt like, nah, you're a hater. You're a hater. You just don't support the movement. Because in my head, I'm like, why would you not just be like, hey, I think it'd be really helpful for you to drive. Like, why can't we start driving? What's stopping you from doing that? And have that kind of conversation. That's the way I would always, like, prefer to be approached, especially back then. But now that I'm older, I can understand that the message that was still being sent from her, even if it wasn't sent in the way that I wanted to receive it, was genuinely that, hey, like, your priorities aren't correct. And even though, you know, you look like you're doing well and you might be having good grades and you dress nice and you're charismatic and you've got friends, like, you still have this, your order of priorities just isn't in the correct way, because the things that you need the most, that will help you the most, you aren't really thinking about them as much as you should be. Not to say you're not thinking about them at all, but not as much as I should have been. Do you know what I mean? So it's something that I put off for a long time. And really, there's times where I've really been like, if I would have just sorted it. It's not like I didn't have opportunity and time, and like I could have, but I just didn't think it mattered that much. It was always, I'll do it later. Good time later, like I said yesterday, I'll do it later. Like, I need to stop that. But yeah, that's what that lesson is. That's topic 1. It was about listening and actually taking the time to really understand, you know? So yeah, next time your auntie or your uncle or someone older tells you something, like, really take time to deep it and think, what does that mean, you know? It goes back to the first motto I had, which was preparing to fail is failing to prepare, I think. And how at the time, the person who said that, like, I did not like this person. I thought they were just a horrible individual who just thought they were better than everyone. But in real life, that sentiment is the truest thing about this world, this life we live anyway. If you don't prepare, like, you are literally setting yourself up to fail. Like, there's no other way to look at it. So if I would have stopped and deeped what that really meant, and to, like, going into things outside of school and just in real life, like, there's so much I could have handled or avoided if I would have carried that with me. So yeah, just listening and understanding. The other thing I want to talk about was kind people. I want to talk about kind people because it's something it's an interesting topic for me, because it's like, and I mean, like, people who are, like, completely selfless, like, they do things that are completely selfless. Like, it leaves an impression as well where it's like something that you always remember, because it was just like, yo, you didn't have to do that and you still went out of your way to do that for me, even though there was no reciprocal benefit or any type of benefit for you. Like, you literally just suffered for me, if that kind of makes sense. Like, really kind people, do you know what I mean? And I'll be honest, it's not something I completely understand. I really struggle to understand it sometimes, because sometimes to me it can come off as selfish, because, you know, like, I feel like you have people who depend on you and who expect things of you and have hopes for you and aspirations for you. So if you are, like, super kind to the point where you're always putting other people before yourself, then I feel like you're letting the people who believe in you down, because you're never going to really be the one, because you're always going to let someone else go before you. So, you know what I mean? Like, you'll never give them that experience of, like, oh, the person we were rooting for has made it, like, our person's there, because you're always so willing to let, like, situations and opportunities pass you by in the sake of being kind, which I can see the value of it is, like, people think you're kind, but I can't really see the returns matching the sacrifice. Like, it doesn't completely feel worth it to me. Like, I understand being kind to people who are kind to you, like, mutual understandings and having relationships that go both ways, but I'm still trying to kind of wrap my head around, like, when it completely behooves you. Like, it's a complete, like, myth. Like, hey, can you drive me to London, which is like 5 hours away, even though, you know, it's not in your plans and it's just an inconvenience. And I have other methods to get there, but, you know, I've asked you because I feel like you could help me to make it easier for me. And as if that's 10 minutes. And, you know, some people might say, yeah, like, I got you, and it's no problem whatsoever, you know. And I feel like, yes, for my close friends, I can do that. But those are like my super close friends. But I'm trying to figure out how to just have it, the balance of having it being like a universal thing where I'm that level of kind that I've seen some people exhibit. And that's what I mean. Like, it really does leave an impression. It's one of those things that at the end of the day, anyone would appreciate someone like that in their lives. But also, there's a lot of people who take advantage of stuff like that. So it's an interesting one for me to think about. It's one for me to think about. And, you know, if you guys have any thoughts, let me know. Yeah, the 10-minute mark went off. Today has been the 26th. Thank you guys for checking in. Literally, we're almost done. 5 more days. Well, 6 for me because I missed day 2, but 5 more days. And, you know, yeah, New Year's, I'm really excited for next year. I feel like there's a lot in the cards. There's a lot of things that have been in the tuck, but not been, the ball hasn't been rolling. And this year, I feel like we got the ball rolling. And now, because we're here now, it's like everything else that come with it, everything that's been planned and been prepared and thought about can start to actually come into fruition. So yeah, I'm excited for next year. Thank you guys for checking in. I hope you had an amazing Christmas. I hope you lot are gearing up for a great new year. I hope you're thinking about the year, reflecting, wondering about yourself and how you can be better. I hope you're learning about yourselves as I am in this time, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Love, peace, bye.